Welcome to Resume Storyteller with Virginia Franco, bringing you interviews with industry experts and regular folks who tested the job search waters and succeeded, and strategies to tell your story and land your job interviews in 60 days, guaranteed. Here's your host, Virginia Franco.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited to have with me today Carolyn Hauser. She was born and raised in Brazil and spent her professional career working as a management consultant there. But when crime became intolerable in her native country, she took a leap and embarked on a new life in Israel back in 2016. Although her Israeli language skills were still rudimentary, with the help of a non-governmental agency, she was able to land her first role as a project manager and a business analyst for a global company where her command of English sufficed. Unfortunately, her position was eliminated within 2 years as a result of an acquisition. So surprisingly, her second job hunt was a little longer, much more exhaustive, and much tougher than the first one. But through volunteering, freelancing, blogging, and by leveraging LinkedIn to its fullest, while continuing to hone her Hebrew language skills, Caroline was hired after 12 months of job hunt. And today she is a consultant with More Management Consulting, an Israeli management consulting company. So I am so delighted to have Caroline with us today, or with me today, because this is my first guest that managed an international job hunt, and just excited to learn from you and see what worked and what didn't, so that other people in your shoes could learn from you. So thank you, Caroline.
Thank you for having me, Virginia. I love your introduction.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a good story.
Yeah, you made it short and very precise.
Thank you. So you heard me give a quick overview of your career history, and obviously you had to find a job. Your job was eliminated. I'd love to know what made you decide to go in the direction that you did. Why did you choose to work for an Israeli company versus an international company where your language, you didn't have to work on your language, and why did you decide to go back into consulting? Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay. So first of all, I started to look for positions in international companies. Everybody that I talked to, they said, you have an advantage. So use your language, use Portuguese and Spanish and English that you speak fluently, and don't fight for the same position as an Israeli. Fight for something that you have an advantage. So I tried. True. Yeah, I tried. I volunteered, as you said, to the Brazil-Israel Chamber of Commerce, trying to get some insight, some new proposal, new ventures, whatever that would come. And also I tried applying online in several international companies that we have here in Israel. And it was not working. So I thought I need to change my direction. So since I am here in Israel, they speak Hebrew, and it's also very important for, in my opinion, to advance my career. It was important also to speak Hebrew. So it was kind of decision to keep my mind busy. So I was studying, I was investing in myself, in the language that is spoken here, and also I thought I will be able to talk with my husband's friends in Hebrew, and maybe they can see that I am able to speak 4 languages instead of 3. So I thought it was an investment. Why I decided to go back to business consulting, actually, it's what I know what to do. It's what I know the best. it's just a bit difficult for me, because even making calculations in Hebrew is difficult. The numbers are different, and the way you do mathematics and
oh wow,
even 10%, you're not speaking your own language, so it's very difficult. And I don't speak it for a long time. It's only
right.
For 4 years. So even the most simple things are difficult, but I try to write it down, everything that I understand. And even if I need to make a calculation, I say, let's wait. Let me insert here in the file so I can do the calculation.
Right.
So you can see that for me it's just difficult to understand something. But I always try to smile and to be nice and to say, "Can you help me?" So
I love that. And what also interested me about what you just said is, by being more fluent in the native language, it allows you to speak with friends, like you said, your husband's family, your husband's friends, and that's the first step to networking. And by sticking with consulting, which you knew, it's there were so many other new things you had to learn, new language, new country. So sticking with something that you knew that was comfortable, and I always recommend rather than changing everything, start with micro changes. That's exactly what you did. So tell me about the steps that you took that were different from the first time around to land this job that you have now.
As I said, in the beginning, I was sitting behind the computer looking for open positions. And that, I think, is the main mistake most of the job seekers do.
And U.S. as well.
I did. And I think after 4 months only doing that and thinking my phone is not ringing, what's wrong? And then I started to read. I started to read the blogs like yours. And I started to research more about the the job market, and I understood that it's I don't know if it's different, Brazil from Israel. I know Israel is very similar, is more similar to USA than Brazil, but I also read that in Brazil is also different. That networking is the key. Actually,
I think it's universal. I really do.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to help other newcomers that also come to Israel and they are lost as I was. And I say, people, just stop sending CVs through the website. It's not going to happen if you don't go to networking events and to talk to people and introduce yourself and even volunteer yourself. Help the people that are there doing the talks and even the organizers. Help them so they will get to know you, and then they will get to care about you, and they will start to ask you about you, what are you looking for, and they will want to introduce you to other people. So for me, networking
is that what you did? You found specific events related to the industry you were targeting and volunteered at those events to get to know the organizers?
So here we have this, Israel is a country with a lot of immigrants, and we have a department in Tel Aviv municipality that they help all these newcomers, giving them free talks. So usually they have, it's very nice. Usually they have a lot of free talks about job search. So I went to most of these kind of networking events.
Yeah.
And I was there more to listen in the beginning. I was listening and writing and taking some ideas to my own job search. But then I realized that people that were there standing in front of, 30 people, 30 newcomers as me, they were in the job market. They were working in good companies here. So why not to approach them and to talk to them?
Yeah.
So this is what I started to do. I don't know, after my 10th meetup group that I went. And then little by little, I started to understand that this was the tool, the main tool that I should use. And also, I looked at the organizer, and she was doing that all by herself, and sometimes she had to arrive early and to leave after everyone. So one day I decided to stay there and to talk to her, and now she calls me and she asks my opinion about the talk she's planning to do for the other job seekers. So now I'm her advisor.
I love that. Now, one thing I remember that was unique about your story, which is how you and I even got connected, is you started blogging. And you shared your blog with me. How did that come about?
Actually, in those talks, I mentioned the Tel Aviv offer. I would say more than 2 lecturers, they mentioned that we should try to keep our mind busy. So they said, for example, to create, to be a freelancer. For example, I am also a freelancer. I offered my Excel and PowerPoint capabilities. It didn't bring me lots of money, but at least kept my mind busy.
Okay.
And also they said about blogging. So I was thinking, what I'm going to write about.
What can you write about? Sure.
Yeah. So since I was becoming, let's say, a fanatic reader from all the blogs and all the help I could get from the internet, everything that I was reading, and I felt like I was succeeding. I was going further in the interviews. So I met a friend that she is a native English speaker. And she said to me, I am looking for a job for 4 months and I cannot find. And for English speakers to find a job here is much easier than for Brazilians or anyone with a different nationality. Because English, you can speak perfectly the language.
Right, so, I know, lucky, yeah.
So I thought, wow, if she cannot get a job and she's very qualified, what is her problem? So I said to her, come by my house, let's exercise. Let's just pretend that I am an interviewer and you will...
Oh, so you did practice interviewing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I told her, I'm not a professional, but I have a lot of experience. I can try to help you.
Okay.
So we did it, and actually she passed. She got the job.
Oh, okay. She did well in the interview then.
Yeah, exactly. So I started to think maybe all these things that all this knowledge that I am acquiring, that in this time, maybe I can try to write about my own experience.
Your own experience,
So I started to write, for example, I know in the USA you have home assignments. In Brazil, we don't have home assignments, or at least we didn't have since I left. I never had to do a home assignment. Okay. And here in Israel, it's like I did, for example, one process with 3 one-to-one interview and 3 home assignments. So it's like,
okay. They gave you they gave you homework, that's what you call it. Okay, that is a lot.
Yeah. So I started to write about how to write, how to create a good home assignment, how to deliver a good home assignment.
Okay.
And people started to like, and people started to comment and to ask me questions. And then I wrote about this interview simulation I did with my friends. And, I thought that sometimes people just they don't know where to look. So
that's right.
I started to share some of my resources, and also I have to say that the fact that I'm very organized, I use Excel sheets for everything. So I started to create.
You kept track.
Yeah, exactly. And I started to create lists. For example, I need to get into this website once a week or once every 2 weeks, something like this. I had my own process. And I had this table already created for myself. So I thought, why not to share this knowledge that I had to dig deep to find it. So I will start to share these things. And also a template, for example, for me to have a follow-up of all the positions that I sent my CV and what were the stage, to who I talked to. So I would keep track of everything. So I share
that's what the experts recommend. Is you shared all of that of what worked. That's wonderful. And didn't someone find your blog? Is that what did you tell me that, or did I read that?
Yeah. Actually, this is how I got to this job. This guy, Asaf, he found my blog because we write in the same place, Times of Israel.
Okay.
And he asked me, "Can I do something? Can I do anything for you to help you?" And I said, "Okay, let's go.
Hire me."
Well, let's go for a coffee, maybe. So in the beginning, he didn't have anything to propose to me. But in 4 months, something like this, he started to work in a new position, in this new business consulting that I'm working for. And he
great.
Said to me, and actually he didn't think about me when he sent this position to me, because he was sending to his networking. And I said, I'm interested. And he called me and he said, listen, I think you are overqualified. And I said, no, don't say that to me again, because everybody says that to me and I cannot listen to this. I'm overqualified anymore. So in the end, we talked, and they decided they wanted to hire me, not for the position I officially subscribed to, but
something a little bit more senior.
And they're more focused to business consulting, because they saw that they could use my almost 10 years of experience.
Your expertise, yeah. How did you end up getting to be able to blog for the Israeli Times? Or Israeli, what was it called?
Times of Israel.
Times of Israel, okay.
It's online media for English speakers. There aren't so many. And actually, I was a bit chutzpah, how they say here.
Yeah.
I decided to send them a message. I saw that they have like a blog platform, and I decided to send them a message. And since I started this blog in LinkedIn, so I had my, let's say, readers, but they were like 20, 30 people, from family, friends that they want to empower you.
Yeah.
So
you use your LinkedIn blog to get the Times of Israel blog.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that. Okay, so what would you, in terms of structuring your job search on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, how much time do you think you spent? What did that look like?
Actually, one thing that I decided to do was to wake up with my husband, not to stay in bed until late.
Okay.
No, because I know a lot of people that they say, it's not a midday, I'm not going to wake up because I don't have what to do. Come on. If you're not awake, you won't pick up the telephone when someone calls,
So you kept office hours even though you didn't have a job at an office?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's even hard to remember because I had so many things in my to-dos. But I had a list of companies that I wanted. I researched about them, and I liked their product, or I liked their market.
The culture and their all of that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And also, I was trying to look for companies that they either wanted to make connections to Brazil or were doing already. So I could use my language, but this was not the number one.
Right.
And I would enter to those links to the career website. And I would check for open positions. So if I saw an open position that it was, at least, by reading, it was similar to what I do or what I know how to do, I would go to LinkedIn and look for either people that work in this company, either if they speak Portuguese, because I think it's a good door to open,
Sure.
That speak your language, and they probably have been in the same place that I were, or people that they were in the same position, that it was, the open position. And I would try to contact them and to talk to them and to try to ask for some advice. One thing that I learned is that we should not approach asking for a job.
Ask for advice.
We should
ask
for advice.
Okay.
And yes, I had a lot of no's. I had a lot of people that I added on LinkedIn, or I sent a message, direct message, and they didn't answer. But I tried to look on the half full glass.
Yeah, the positive side of things.
Yeah, exactly. And I was trying to look only for the yeses I got.
Well, and you do get a lot of no's, but you don't. But all you need are a few yeses to then open that door to lead to more.
Yeah, actually, my mentor from this NGO that you mentioned in the beginning that helped me get to my first position in Israel, he said to me, you will receive a lot of no's, but the most important is the only yes you need. You just need one yes.
That's right. You're right. I know. I agree. What would you say was the biggest challenge during this process for you?
Keep up the positivity.
How do you think you did that?
I think the blog helped me, because no one wants to read a blog of a person that is just saying bad things about, in a bad way, about complaining and saying bad things. So I try to keep the positivity in my blog, even though not everything was so positive. And also exercising. I kept exercising to keep my mind busy and oxygen in the brain, and I think it helped me a lot. And
no, that's really good advice.
My friends and my husband and my family, everybody were like having to listen to me say, now I went to this phase, and now I went to this phase, and now I have to present a home assignment, and I shared with them my home assignment, and they would say, change this and change that. So I had a lot of support.
Yeah, that's doing it alone. To me, that's the biggest way to lose the positivity, is to sort of be isolated with this.
Yeah, you're right.
What has surprised you the most? Was there something that you said, wow, I didn't expect this to happen when you were in this journey?
This podcast. To be part of an international podcast. Yes. Very nice.
Well, I love that you tagged me, and I was so grateful. I love you. Like I said, I love your story, and it's not that different from job seekers here in the U.S. It's more complex for you because it's new country and new language, but it's so comforting, I think, to me, to hear that the advice works in lots of other places, and you followed it, and then some.
Yeah.
And what advice?
I keep reading.
You continue to learn.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, because I think we have to. You think I think about a lot of my mistakes, because this is also something that I write a lot in my blog. This is the way I work. I try to look at my mistakes on a learning process. What did I do wrong that I should not do that in the future? So what I can say is that I thought I was in a good company. I was there for 2 years, and it would be very easy for me to find a job whenever I would have to find another job again. So I didn't keep networking.
That's right.
I didn't keep reading. I just stopped. I was so busy with my work that I just stopped. And when I was without a job, I thought, oh my God, so where should I start now? So I won't let that happen again. I go to networking events, even though I am working. You never know what can come out from.
No, you're right. You're right. And I guarantee you, if you do embark in a future job search, it will be much shorter, because you have the network in place to make that happen. So what advice would you give to someone who's looking to make any sort of a jump, whether it's into your industry or any industry, or looking to make an international move? What's sort of the first thing? What do they need to have in place to get, to make it happen?
One thing that I say that I miss, I don't see people doing that, is reading, listening to podcasts, and there are so many interesting things in the internet that we should not ignore it. So, and not only that, not only reading, but you guys that I know you and several more that are always, I comment on your posts, and you comment, and you are so open to answer people's questions that you don't even need to read everything. You approach the people. If you approach the people with the right question, you will receive the right answer, and you don't need to look so much. But
yeah, and I found that as well when I was trying to learn and grow. When I approached people in the right way, they really were so generous with their time. And it led to jobs. It always did. You're right. And it learned to growth. It resulted in growth opportunities. But you're right. Reading, researching, listening.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. Okay. So the last question then is, what's next for you? You've landed this job. You are teaching others. What is next on the horizon for you?
I cannot share a lot. But I have a lot of ideas to help other new immigrants that are coming to Israel. I am trying to make connections to make the life of people that came after me easier than mine.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything yet concrete, so it's very difficult for me to share. But
I love that you're passionate about helping other immigrants, and helping them to ease their way.
Yeah, because maybe I got to the right persons. Of course, as I told you, I got a lot of no's, but I prefer to look on the lots of yes that I got, so I can maybe try to help people that they can skip a bit of this frustrating time and to jump to the action and to do it, to make the right question, to connect the right people. And, I'm doing that on my free time.
Your blog.
Yeah. I'm doing at night, on the weekends, on commuting, and I'm trying the way I can. I know I won't be able to help everybody, but whoever I can, I'm trying.
And do you know the phrase "pay it forward"? Have you heard that before?
Pay it forward? Yes.
So, that's what you're doing. Yeah. You're paying it forward. I love that. Well, Carolyn, thank you so much. I know it's late there, but I thank you for sharing your story and your lessons learned. I learned a lot, and I think other people will too.
Right. Thank you for inviting me. I was very flattered when you invited me, and I wanted to do this.
I'm so excited to connect. I know how busy you are. No, thank you.
You've been listening to Resume Storyteller with Virginia Franco. To learn more about storytelling strategies to catch the eye of today's SCIM online readers, hiring and decision makers, go to www.virginiafrancoresumes.com.